The novel begins with José Arcadio Buendía and his wife, Ursula Iguarán, founding the town of Macondo in the Colombian jungle. They seek to establish a utopia, driven by José Arcadio's vision and Ursula's pragmatism. Macondo's isolation from the world initially helps preserve its innocence and purity. The founding symbolizes the beginning of a cycle that will persist through generations. Macondo initially thrives, with the Buendía family at its center. The town attracts various characters, including the gypsy Melquiades, who introduces the Buendías to new technologies and mystical knowledge, symbolizing the intersection of science and magic. This period of prosperity is marked by harmony and growth, setting a hopeful tone for the future. However, underlying tensions hint at the inevitable decline. José Arcadio and Ursula are cousins, and a fear of the curse of incest, symbolized by children being born with pigtails, haunts the family. This fear looms over the Buendías throughout the novel, affecting their relationships and decisions. The incest taboo highlights the themes of purity and corruption, as the family's bloodline becomes increasingly tainted. The fear of this curse reflects broader anxieties about genetic and moral degeneration. The arrival of outsiders, including government officials, marks the beginning of Macondo's connection with the outside world. This intrusion brings both progress and conflict, symbolizing the inevitable influence of external forces on isolated communities. Government intervention disrupts Macondo's equilibrium, introducing political complexities and social change. The town's innocence is further eroded as it becomes entangled in national politics. The arrival of the Banana Company marks a period of rapid economic growth and exploitation. The company brings modernization but also social and economic disparities, leading to worker strikes and violence. The company's presence underscores the theme of foreign exploitation and the impact of capitalism on traditional societies. The economic boom is a double-edged sword, bringing both prosperity and destruction. The massacre of the banana workers by the government, which denies the event ever happened, highlights themes of political repression and historical amnesia. The tragedy profoundly affects José Arcadio II, who becomes a recluse. This event is a turning point, marking the beginning of Macondo's decline. The denial of the massacre represents the erasure of truth and the manipulation of history. Colonel Aureliano Buendía leads multiple civil wars, reflecting the cyclical nature of violence and the futility of his efforts. His numerous illegitimate children further complicate the family lineage, symbolizing the fragmented identity of the Buendías. Aureliano's wars embody the endless cycles of conflict that plague the family and the nation. His increasing disillusionment mirrors the broader sense of hopelessness and despair. As the family expands, the Buendías experience increasing isolation and miscommunication. The house grows larger but emptier, symbolizing the physical and emotional distance between family members. The once lively home becomes a labyrinth of solitude, each room a testament to lost connections. The family's fragmentation mirrors the disintegration of Macondo itself. The novel explores various love stories, including the passionate but doomed romance between Amaranta and Pietro Crespi, and the forbidden love between Aureliano José and his aunt Amaranta. These relationships reflect the complexities of love and desire. Love in Macondo is often marked by tragedy and unfulfilled desires, underscoring the theme of unattainable happiness. These relationships also highlight the destructive power of obsessive love. The birth of the final Buendía, Aureliano, the great-great-grandson of the founder, brings the prophecy of incest full circle. He is born with a pig's tail, fulfilling the family's worst fears and symbolizing the culmination of their sins. His birth signifies the end of the Buendía line, closing the cycle that began with José Arcadio and Ursula. The pig's tail is a stark reminder of the family's cursed legacy. As Macondo falls into decay, the last Buendías face their destiny. Aureliano reads Melquiades' parchments, which reveal the entire history and fate of the family, written in an unbreakable code. The parchments serve as a chronicle of inevitability, showing that the Buendías' fate was predetermined. This revelation adds a layer of fatalism to the novel's ending. The novel's cyclical structure emphasizes the themes of time and memory. The Buendías repeat the same mistakes, and their memories are often unreliable, symbolizing the fluid nature of history and personal experience. Time in Macondo is portrayed as nonlinear, looping back on itself, reflecting the repetitive nature of human folly. Memory is both a burden and a solace for the characters. The blending of the mundane with the magical, such as Remedios the Beauty ascending to heaven or the Rain of Yellow Flowers, highlights the novel's theme of magical realism, where the extraordinary becomes ordinary. This narrative style allows Márquez to explore deeper truths about human experience and cultural identity. Magical realism blurs the lines between reality and fantasy, enhancing the novel's dreamlike quality. The recurring theme of solitude affects each character differently. For example, Colonel Aureliano Buendía isolates himself emotionally after his wars, while Amaranta chooses a life of chastity and solitude, symbolizing the personal and collective isolation of the Buendias. Solitude becomes a refuge and a curse, shaping the destinies of the Buendía family. It is both a symptom and a cause of their downfall. The novel critiques political corruption and social injustices, such as the exploitation of workers by the Banana Company and the government's brutal repression, reflecting the broader socio-political context of Latin America. Márquez uses Macondo as a microcosm to comment on the exploitation and suffering of marginalized communities. The political struggles in the novel mirror real historical events in Colombia and Latin America. Women in the Buendía family, like Ursula and Fernanda del Carpio, play crucial roles in maintaining the household and the family's legacy. Their resilience and strength contrast with the often flawed and destructive actions of the men. The women's stories highlight themes of endurance and sacrifice, often serving as the moral backbone of the family. Their contributions are essential yet frequently overlooked. The final destruction of Macondo by a hurricane symbolizes the end of the Buendía family and the town itself. This apocalyptic event underscores the themes of decay and renewal, as well as the impermanence of human endeavors. The hurricane's fury represents the culmination of the town's accumulated sins and mistakes. Macondo's erasure from memory serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of human achievements. Aureliano deciphers the prophecy, realizing that the Buendía family's fate was predestined. The novel ends with Macondo being wiped from memory, symbolizing the transient nature of history and the inevitability of oblivion. The prophecy's fulfillment ties together the novel's themes of destiny and cyclical history. The ending leaves a lasting impression of inevitability and the ultimate insignificance of individual lives. If this recap was helpful, consider subscribing to the channel to learn about more books in the future. In the video description there is also more information about the book's themes and symbolism, along with information if you are interested in getting a copy of the book. Hope to see you in the next video.